Alright, I'm doing the dungeon loot collecting game. So I'm gonna start by running through my classes. So first we have the character class. This has health, loot, and the name for the character. So you can change and update all of those um, in the game. And then my CPP file for the character just goes through all of those. Then you have the hero class, which will inherit from the character class. This is pretty much it on there. And then it has a print function that overrides from the character class. And then the villain class, which will be the enemies in the game. I created 4 different types: dragon, squid, skeleton, and zombie. Each of them have different attributes. They'll each have different amounts of loot that you can collect from them. And then I put a private variable of type. You'll see how I use that in game. And then also another print function that overrides from character function. So we'll go to main now just to run through everything. So I have all my functions listed up here. We'll go through them at the very bottom. In the main, this is basically the start screen. You can choose to start a new game or load a game. If you try to load a game and there's nothing in there, then it's going to force you into starting a new game. So it'll read and output from different files. So then you can choose your character name, which will be stored, and then you choose which profile you want to store the game in. And I give 3 options: profile 1, 2, and 3. And then next, creates your hero from the name that you input up here. And then it decides which file to write to, depending on which profile you selected, 1, 2, or 3 to save the game. And then this is kind of the start of the game right here. Just kind of runs through what you're trying to do. And then right here, I create all of the villains. There's 13 enemies that you can encounter. All have different types like dragon, squid, skeleton, and zombie with different names. Then I store them into an array. That way I can generate a random enemy to encounter, and that's what I do right here. So I put it into a vector and then do a random shuffle and store it. And then down here you'll see it'll spawn a random enemy. So right here is where the game starts on this while loop. So if you get more than 20,000 gold coins, which is the target, then you win the game. Or if your health goes to 0 or less, then you die and the game ends. So let's see. One little thing is after every 3 encounters with enemies, you'll get a med pack, so it'll regain 50 health. And then right here is if you get 20,000 coins, then this is where the game will end, showing you won the game, and it'll close. And then I close my input and output files right here. And now onto the functions. So your move function, I put 3 different lines or phrases that you can choose to go left, right, up, down, just depending on what it is. So you can choose how to move your character. Right here is spawning an enemy. So that's back to the random number that we generated. So that's just showing the character's info that you're fighting. Right here is kind of the meat of fighting and your menu options. So you can print your character's information, enemies information, start the fight, or end the game. And if you end the game, up in the main, it automatically had already written at the last checkpoint, which is after you defeat an enemy. So it's already saved, so no need to save the game here. It's already done. And then these just go through what your selection is. So right here, once you start to fight, it'll print out your health and the enemy's health on a little bar. And then you can choose different attack options. So then it'll go right here. And this is once you've defeated the enemy, it'll show that, and update your loot, what you collected from your enemy. And then your attack menu right here. And then depending on what kind of enemy you're attacking, it'll deal different amounts of damage to them, so you kind of have to figure out what's the best attack for each type of enemy. And it has all the options right here. It'll print out kind of what attacks you're doing. And then after you attack, you get to choose to try to dodge the villain's attack. So that'll go into a Boolean function, and then it'll generate a random number that the villain attacks, and that'll match it with this Boolean function. So there's a 50-50 chance of you getting hit with the attack or you being able to dodge it. So if you're hit, these will print out depending on which kind of villain you're fighting, and it'll update your health as well. So that's pretty much everything. Now I'll show some gameplay. So let's see. So right here is the start screen, so I'm going to start a new game, and you can type your name. So it'll be, I'm going to save it under profile 1. So it's kind of giving the rundown of the game. So first thing is I'll choose to go left, and it prints out the enemy info. So I'll start the fight, or first I'll print my character info. So it shows all my character info right here, health, current loot, and I'll print my enemy's info. So it shows his health, loot, name, type. Then I'll start the fight. So I'm going to shoot a flaming arrow, hits, then I'll try to dodge right, and that shows that I successfully dodged the attack. So I'll do another flaming arrow, and so that shows I defeated him and my current gold that I collected, total gold. So now I'll choose to go up the staircase. Then I'll start the fight with the dragon. I'll do electric charge, dodge left, and I didn't successfully dodge it that time, so it hit. So this time I'll do the sword. I'll dodge right, hit again, do the sword again. So it looks like I defeated him. So now I'm going to choose to go left, and then now I'll exit the game. So it shut down the program, and I'll go back into it, start it again. I'm going to choose to load the game this time. And I saved it under profile 1, so I'm going to open profile 1. And as you can see, it saved my name, and then, let's see, and I'm going to print my info so you can see that it saved that as well. So my current health was 40, current loot is 5,000. So I'll start the fight again. Do the Molotov, dodge left. I'll do Molotov again. So that's pretty much it. It'll just go through everything. I'm going to exit game now, and that's pretty much it.